All right. Lord have mercy. All right. Welcome into the Daily Fix as we get this thing going. It is Super Bowl week. And Steve, I am in New Orleans, baby. I'm in the Big Easy. And
Nice.
listen, it's damn near already got away from me. Took a walk last night on Bourbon. And, I'm trying to stay away from sugars, carbs. That went out the window. Went to Cafe Du Monde. Had me about 3 beignets. Had to do it. And fought hand over foot, tooth and nail to walk past all of those daiquiri shops because daiquiris to me, I treat them like going into Quick Trip, like I'm at the slush machine. I wanted to just run them all, but I know I didn't. Just a little tequila, splash of lime juice with a little water. I was good, but it's gonna be a fight. But it's big time, baby. It's Super Bowl week, baby.
Have you been to New Orleans before?
Once, but I had an 8-year-old with me for a day. And the only places we ate and drank was at the Superdome for the Final Four. So, no, not a lot of experience.
I recommend the hot sausage po' boy from Dizzy's.
Ooh, the hot sausage po' boy. Okay.
Yes.
I'm into that.
It's one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life.
Well, to hell with the introduction since we've gotten this thing off the route. This is the Daily Fix every day, 12 Central Standard Time, right here on Foolish Club Media, right there in that little box. I don't want to take this from the people that ride with us every day. There is the electric Steven Serta with that hat. Say hello to the people, Steve.
Hi.
There he is. There he is. All right. One thing I do need you to do, even now, and if you roll with this, please continue. But if you have not done so, please head to our social media page. Please head to our YouTube page, Foolish Club Media. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Foolish Club Media. If you do not do so, remember, you're preventing my 3 children from eating. So like and subscribe there. We appreciate you doing so. All right, as usual, not going to hold you too long. We saw a shift, a major moment yesterday, and it ain't got to do with sports. But I don't know if it's being accepted like that. We'll discuss that. And all I can say is late Saturday night, the NBA was drunk, Serta, and I was all for it. It took me up. I stayed up to about 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I was covering it. We'll get to that crazy trade of a generational player at 25 and just sending him to the Lakers. We'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to start here since we are here in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Chiefs are there. This is a big one. As you see in the background, that name, stopping Saquon Barkley. And if I can get my 2 minutes, Serta, this game to me, all right, and it's pretty unusual, and maybe the Eagles, I don't think so. Maybe Eagles think about this differently because you do have the absolute best player in the world in the game, in Patrick Mahomes. But I think rounds about what you're going to get from him. I think for both sides, the most important player in this game is him, 26, Saquon Barkley, either side. And I just want to get that started off Monday right off the bat. Saquon Barkley is the absolute most important player in this game for both teams because if he is running wild like he has all season, it is a game changer because the Chiefs want and have to make this game a Jalen Hurts game. Just have to. They have to put them in 3rd and longs. And if you can do so, that obviously brings the Chiefs' strength into things. And even though they've got some great receivers and A.J. Brown and Smith and Goddard's really good, we've seen tight ends give the Chiefs problems this year. Even Saquon is pretty good out of the backfield. But still, if you're putting it in those hands, even with their O-line, that is going to be the route for the Chiefs. And it's why he's so important. So offensively, he'll keep the Chiefs off the field. That's how they get their big plays. To me, without a shadow of a doubt, Saquon Barkley is the most important player in this game. If the Chiefs are able to slow him down, because certainly no running back has had over 88 yards in a game. Now, they have given up more here of late, and we saw what Cook did last week, but still, he only had 85 yards. All right. Joe Mixon's 88 yards in the divisional rounds, the most this team has given up. If they can do that, that to me is a game changer for the Chiefs and the Eagles in this game.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm worried about the Chiefs' run defense lately because it's still been okay, but they have given up more here in the playoffs. But I think it's also a product of like what they're willing to give up versus what they're game planning for and what they're trying to stop as a defense. And so it's like this game, it's like, yeah, the Eagles offense is built around Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
It runs through Saquon Barkley. Like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, very nice pass game weapons, and the Eagles can still put up points that way. But Jalen Hurts is limited as a passer, and we know that. And if the Eagles have to just lean on the passing game, that's not really where they want to be. They want to just hand it off to Saquon and watch him rip 70-yard touchdown. So as long as you can keep him from doing that, I think you can give the Eagles offense some problems.
Well, that's the other part, right? As you mentioned, the crazy part with this team, Serta, is even with A.J. Brown, who is a big play threat, even with Smith, who's a big play threat, that's not usually where their big plays have come from this year. Their big plays come from Saquon, like they did to open up the game against Washington, where he goes 60. I mean, the amount, like the Rams can't keep him from running 60-plus yards multiple times in a game. So that is really, really key. All right. This is the biggest story in sports and the craziest trade I think many of us have ever seen. late Saturday night, man, I'm folding, packing. I'm packing my suitcase late Saturday night. About 11:25, I see Shams of ESPN. Yo, Luka Doncic is being traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. And I'm like, what the hell? What in the world is this about? So much so, Serta, excuse me, as you know this, he said, yo, this is not a joke, and I've not been hacked. This is real. Luka is going to the Lakers. This, to me, is nuts. And I don't know if this is the worst trade I've ever seen, but it makes no sense. You don't trade a 25-year-old star who in the last 5 years has been all NBA, who's finished top 10 in the MVP since his rookie year, third last year, just led you to the finals. You don't just trade him to LA. And I know Anthony Davis is a good player, but damn that. And now clearly there was an issue between the Mavericks and Luka because the GM is ready. He makes the move. Now he's talking about he's fat. Now he's talking about he's out of shape and they don't trust him and all of this and that, even though he just did what he did. And they think his size and his weight and his issues is why he's been injured. I'm not saying that ain't it, but damn, you don't trade him to the Lakers. This is craziness to me. And so many people, and I've heard Charles Barkley talking about, oh, I think this may be the second team in the West. And I don't know if the Lakers can compete. I'm sorry. I think Luka and LeBron, and you get another big, I think they can maybe figure some things out between those two. But it is just insane that this guy would be traded. Mark Cuban is rolling around in his living grave. It is nuts that this has happened. And I am floored that this occurred. It's just insane.
It's unbelievable too, because it's not like, in the NFL, you see players get traded or whatever, and you kind of live with the outcomes. And lots of times you can talk yourselves into like, oh, that trade worked this way or this way. And then, it wasn't the end of the world. But you don't see players of this caliber get traded. Like Luka, whether his work ethic is there or not, or his conditioning is there, or him staying in shape or whatever, that dude is one of the greatest basketball players that we have ever seen, even when he's out of shape, like even when the conditioning is not there. And so it's like, if you could just get him to take it a little bit more seriously, imagine what he would be capable of. But you don't trade a player like that, not for an old Anthony Davis. Like, it's one thing if you trade him for another like young player that you're hoping you can build around. You can't build around Anthony Davis at this point in his career. What they did is absolutely insane.
Well, hold on. The AD slander is a little strong here. I mean, he's older. He's 31. All right. And I'm with you. I wouldn't make the deal. But, I mean, AD is still a great player.
Yeah.
Not him.
Luka.
In the league. But you don't, he's 6 years older. You don't make that move. But the out of shape thing is bull. And, like, guess who you're sending him with? You're now sending him to the guy who is legendarily known for taking care of his body. That is a great person for him to be under, to kind of see what it means. Because AD has kind of felt it, to see what it means and how LeBron does things. And he respects LeBron. It was his idol. He's his favorite player. So I think that will absolutely help him. But to the point you're making, 25 years old, almost 29 per game in his career, almost 9 rebounds, over 8 assists for his career. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure out this chubbiness. We'll figure out this work ethic. We'll figure it out if that's where he's leaning at 28. I mean, at 25 years old. Then usually guys turn the corner and start to get more serious. We'll figure this out. I'm not about to just quit on him. It is just wild to me. All right, finally here, Serta, and I know you're a music head. And Kendrick Lamar, big night for you. I think a lot of people saw that coming. But obviously, to me, Beyonce stole the night as she won multiple awards, including Album of the Year. And then the one that's getting, I think, the most controversy, Serta, she won Country Album of the Year. And I've had some debates with guys about this that are really big country fans. And to me, this is feeling very much like politics, that we're going to there's a good group of people who love it, and then there's a group of people who absolutely despise it and then push it to the terms of, oh, this is DEI. She won because she's black. I've read that multiple times today. To me, Steve, and I know you're a music head, listen, Cowboy Carter, my wife loves. It's maybe her favorite Beyonce album. I think it is her favorite. It wasn't great for me, but Steve, I respect the challenge she gave herself. I respect the creativity and her trying to do things musically that's past what she's brought, trying to expand this. And I think we've seen like genres expand all the way back from when you started getting groups like Korn and Linkin Park. I don't know why I view that being down your alley, but when you get those groups that they kind of mix rock and rap, and you started to see the crossover all the way back from Aerosmith and Run DMC, and you started to see the singing being brought into hip, all of this. She moved and made, I believe, a country album that sounds like country. Some people have their rules or whatever. And to me, this is a night that should be celebrated, and a cool thing of, man, look what happened in music. Look at the next step. To me, this has to go down as one of the greatest albums of all time, just because of, if you look at it technically and everything she did, this was to me what music is about. But it's being now turned into politics, which is what everything is being turned into.
Well, yeah, that part of it's ridiculous. Like, it's Beyonce. Like, there's almost no one as accomplished as she is in music, like in modern music. And so I don't have a problem with her winning the Grammy last night. I thought Chappell Roan was going to win, and I was a little surprised that Beyonce won, but I don't have an issue with it. Like, she's more than deserving of it. Her influence across music over our lifetime is massive. And so even if you want to call it like a lifetime achievement Grammy, whatever, it's totally fine. It's Beyonce. She deserves it. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah. It is an I hope more people try to explore, and I think people will, music in whatever lane. Don't just like this, putting them in a box thing is silly to me. Like, country has to be a certain thing. No, I mean, shit. It sounded country. That was a country ass sound to me. All right. She redid you know, Dolly Parton songs. She's got Bill Nelson on there. She did like that country. So congrats. And I love to me that music is going in a different space. Hi, Mom and Courtney.